Hello everyone, how you all doing? Doing alright today, a bit better than yesterday. Although I've had a confrontation today from some fucking Looney Tunes who lives a couple of doors away from me, just wanting to fight me. Yeah, he's not mentally all there. He needs to be on medication or some sort of medication, or he needs some hospital treatment. He needs to be taken away for a little while. But yeah, proper outside his tent, this guy is. But anyway, this is going to be 10 minutes long. It's going to start my timer. It's going to be 10 minutes long, just keep people engaged, because like, just interest levels and how much people want to see, and 10 minutes is about the right time for people to, I think, they start to get a bit, he's just repeating himself or whatever, or brains wander after 10 minutes of looking at something all the time, or watching something, or concentrating on something. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting hit by mozzies here, so it's warming up, so all the mozzies are out wanting their blood for their little babies. But anyway, I just want to say a big thank you to Ninax and or Nina X and Cardo Gaming for joining my Discord, and yes, thank you for that. It's big inspiration, and the fact that you're running alongside me with your recovery, withdrawal and recovery, is like, that's amazing. That's really cool. It's a bit like, I can put it to like when you used to get in trouble, like when you was young, if you got in trouble with somebody else, like the punishments weren't too bad, or being told off weren't as bad. If you was with somebody else, you knew that they were in it with you. This is sort of like the same, It's nice to know that somebody else is withdrawing and recovering as well, not that somebody else is struggling, because we all struggle with life, full stop. But yeah, the fact that you both are like doing it, it's like, that's amazing, and I wish the best to you as well, and I hope that we can share each other's experiences, which we already have been doing in Discord, which is like amazing. I've grown to 12 subs now, which is also amazing. Not for YouTube or for the algorithm, but for myself and my mental health and my peace of mind, and gives me a bit more drive to keep doing what I'm doing, especially when I'm hit with testing moments, like being met with idiots wanting to fight for whatever reason. Yeah, so thank you for that. Big thank you. Right, before I go, right, today I'm going to be like starting off my journey with cannabis from day one, from when I first ever come across it, and I'm going to be working my way through over the days of what drugs I've done in my life, and the frequency of them, and what position or what situations I did them in. And I just want to start by saying I'm not condoning, and I'm neither condemning any drugs these fucking mozzies are doing my head in. My channel's not about glorifying drugs. It's not about telling you how to get off of drugs. It's not about this is how to do, it's just, this is about what I'm doing. It might be totally different from anyone else or everyone else. It's just about what I'm doing. So I will be speaking a lot about certain drugs, and how I did them and why I did them, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, so I'm not condoning drugs and I'm not condemning them, as I just said. And if you have never done drugs in your life, I'm not telling you not to do them, but I'm not telling you to go and do them. What I am telling you is, in every single drug, caffeine, nicotine, heroin, cocaine, amphetamines, cannabis, any benzodiazepines, any substance that you start clutching on, start relying on, they've got big unforeseen dangers. And it might seem that everything's fine, but it's not. That's the worst place to be, if you think that everything's fine when you're doing them, because that's not, everything's fine. It's you'll be the last person to know that what you're doing is actually dangerous. Everyone else around you will know what you're doing is messing with their lives as well as messing with your life, and you'll be the last person to know that. And that's if you ever find out. That's if you ever want to find out. Okay. So yeah. So I'm going to start from the beginning. The first time I see puff or cannabis was hash, and it was like in the 70s. And I used to go on a Friday. I used to go with my dad, and we used to go and well, my dad used to go and score, go and get his dope, and I used to go with him a lot of the time, and we'd either go and see a bloke called Tom, who's not with us anymore, bless him, and a bloke called Smurf, who used to live in Battersea, this tiny geezer, that's why it's called Smurf, who owned a big American, like, I think it was a Cadillac. It was like, this car was bigger than a house. And we used to go and sit in the back of his car, and he used to turn his inside lights on the back seat and sit there, and he'd get out different hashes. And yeah, you know, there'd be like Lebanese, bit of Turkish, Lebanese gold or red leb, or there'll be some Afghan, either gold seal or red seal, Afghan hash, or you'd get some Moroccan. Weed wasn't really around then. It was like, weed was like monkey bedding. It was like mass grown over in Colombia and Mexico, and like male and female plants were just mushed together in blocks, and seeds and stems and everything, and it was just exported, and people used to get high as shit off that stuff, off landrace, proper landrace cannabis, unadulterated, straight from nature, even though they were growing it. So, but the genes weren't messed around with, nothing was messed with, it was just put in the ground, pulled out and packed and smoked. So yeah, I used to love them times. I used to like go to school with Dad, and I felt quite sort of like privileged at the time to be part of it. And I remember the smells, and like now and again he'd burn a bit to smell the quality of it, and the smell was amazing. Like that smell of hash, it's just so ancient. It's older than humans. It's been around a lot longer than we have. Even though humans and cannabis plants share the same chromosome levels, which would dictate that we've been around roughly the same time. But there's a good 1.5 million years in between the chromosome level before us and the chromosome level after us changing. Okay, so yeah, yeah, you can look into that if you want to, and pull me up on it. I might be wrong, but I'm quite sure that I'm right. Anyway, so yeah. Some people might think that me going and scoring with my dad, or me seeing what my dad's doing, I must have been 6 or 7 or round about there, probably younger maybe sometimes. But yeah, people might think that's not right of your father to do that. And looking back at it, looking back how I but how I just accepted that my daughter being around me smoking nicotine, let alone cannabis, was okay. Or me driving around with my daughter in the car smoking a big fat Bob Marley was okay. You know, I just thought, oh, she won't tell the difference between cannabis and nicotine, it's all the same. You know, it's just smoking. But kids know everything. Kids know everything. Before they can even talk, they know everything. They know the difference in you from day one. Honestly, they do. And you may think they don't know, but they fucking do. Yeah. And like looking back at it, it's sort of like it's a bit controversial, you know, allowing your child to be around drugs at such an early age, and you not really knowing that that's not a really bad thing to do. It is what it is, and it was what it was for my dad, and it was what it was for me. And when you do drugs, it's a private thing. When you smoke cannabis, it's a private thing to you. You make that commitment to yourself to not be present in the world, because you don't, you know, you want to have that fun. You have a smoke, and it's like, just takes you away from reality a little bit, and gives you a different approach to reality, which makes it a little bit more fun for you. But if it is private, it should be kept private. You should keep your shit private. And I should have kept my shit private. My timer's going off. So that means like 10 minutes is up, guys. Right, so I've come up to the bit where I've been scoring with my dad, and anyway, my first joint I had, right, was in 1984, right, and at the time I was already smoking nicotine. I had jobs to fund my fags, go and get my cigarettes. I had jobs to go and fund that. Ever since I was 8 years old, I was out washing cars, I was out doing jobs for everyone, and so I was already smoking cigarettes, tailor-made cigarettes, you know. I was paying 97 pence for a pack of 20 back then. It's like, I hate to think what a pack of cigarettes is now. I've not actually checked, but anyway, yeah, 1984, I found a spliff, and I found a spliff on the shelf behind an ornament, and Mum and that was out, and I was the only one in the house, and I was just looking around and found this half a spliff, and I knew what it was. I could smell what it was straight away, so I took it, and I immediately went. This was on a weekend. I went up to round to the factories where I used to live, and the factories no one used to work at the weekend then. Like Sundays were like, go away mozzies. Sundays were like ghost towns, and the factories were like a ghost town over the weekend. And so I went and smoked this half a joint, and like every time I used to smoke tobacco or nicotine, 9 times out of 10 I'd throw my guts up out my nose, like really heave my guts up and feel really bad, but I'd still carry on doing it. I don't know why did I do that? Oh, it's my body telling me, don't do this, I'm gonna throw your fucking food up now and make you feel like shit, you shouldn't be doing this. And then I'd throw my guts up and go and have a fag, or a cigarette. I shouldn't say fag, because Americans think I'm... Anyway, so yeah, that was my first spliff I had, and the moment I smoked it, I smoked all of it straight down, and I fucking got really scared. I got really, really scared. I was expecting to be all laughy and like what my parents were when they were smoking it, but I weren't. I just went into this big hole, and I shit myself. I didn't know what I was doing. I thought I'd actually killed my brain. I thought I'd like I was brain damaged, like permanently brain damaged. I got scared. I didn't want to go home. I couldn't see anyone. I was like, I went and sat in the woods, and I didn't know what to do. And I sat there for hours, like shit scared, shaking, and like, what have I done? Thinking I was going to die. I didn't know what was happening to my body. I didn't know what was happening to my brain. I wasn't doing any laughing stuff. I wasn't laughing, rolling around laughing, doing backflips with happiness. I was fucking shitting myself, and I was shit scared. Anyway, that wore off, and I went home, and yeah, I didn't switched straight to bed and woke up the next day and thought, I'm never ever doing that again. And I didn't. The whole time I lived in London, I didn't touch cannabis again. I was still smoking my cigarettes, and that's all I was doing back then. But it's like escalated once we moved out of London, and when we moved to Peterborough, and I'm going to tell you the rest tomorrow. So sorry on that cliffhanger, but it is what it is. Okay. See ya.